Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the chapter 2, that is overview of Java. In this we are going to cover the following topics: object oriented programming, abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism and inheritance. These are the basic concepts of Java. Then we are going to learn the first simple program in Java, then two control blocks, if block and for loop, and then lexical issues. The issues are white spaces, identifiers, literals, comment separators, and keywords. So, there are two types of models in programming. The basic model structure is process-oriented model, which is used in C programming. So, all programs in any programming language consist of code and data. So code is just instruction set of instructions that operates on data, and data is nothing but the objects. So in C programming language, process oriented language means what we are going to step by step execution of your program. So series of steps are executed one by one. But the problem in that model was complexity. To reduce the complexity, there was considered the object-oriented model. The object-oriented model is basically built on the data, and which is object, and the it is based on the core concept of who is being affected. So if any class is created, any object, so that object will be being affected by that. Then objects and set of well-defined interfaces on that object will operate on the code, and that code will be executed and understood. The basic concept of Java consists of some basic principle. First of all, is abstraction. So abstraction is nothing but what is inside is hidden by the outsider. So, for example, if you are going to view a car or drive a car, we don't have to care with the inner complexity of the car, how car is built and how engine is working, what are the wires that are being connected and how the car is driven. That is not is our business. So, what is considered is only driving a car. Car is a single object. So from outside, car is a single object, and when entered, you can see its steering, brakes, sound systems, and seats, and uh, every object that is inside the car when you open the door of car. And inside that, if you are going to see the sound system, it can have pen drive system, it can have uh, cd dvd, it can have charger for charging mobile. So in each and every object there are hierarchies. That hierarchical construction will tell you the exact inside definition of that object. So complex structure is simplified using hierarchical abstraction. So if you are viewing a car from outside, it is only considered as a complete object. When you are going to inside the car, then each and every layer is considered as a hierarchical abstraction. So you don't have to care for each and every object from the outer layer. So abstraction is basically hiding the complexity inside the object. So there are three basic object-oriented principles. First is encapsulation. Encapsulation means what? It binds together code and data. So code is a set of instruction and data is the object that will be operated upon. Okay, and it keeps safe from outside interference and misuse. So if you have to access any modifier, that is any variable or any method inside the class, you have to create the class object. Without creating a class object, you cannot access the inside variables, and so that you cannot access the private data inside the class. So it is in terms of security, encapsulation is very much important in Java. So access to code is controlled through the well-defined particular interface. So you cannot directly access the code. So class is built for that. or you can create interfaces in Java so that inside construction is hidden from the outsider. And the class is a structure that will bind data and code together. So you can create a object of class, and that object will access the data member and member functions inside the class. Inheritance. Inheritance is nothing but one object acquires properties of another object, and inherited classes have to define only its own unique properties within that class. For example, all world contains animals. For animals, all those have same characteristics. Same characteristics are listed as size, intelligence, and type of skeletal system. So everybody, uh, every animal inside has that characteristic, and then behavioral is same: eat, breathe, and sleep. All animals do the three things compulsorily: eat, breathe, and sleep. But what is unique for particular animal, that will be listed in that particular animal's class. For example, if you are considering a elephant, so elephant is very much huge and it has a separate characteristics. Then tiger will have separate characteristics, and dog and cats have separate characteristics of their own. So those are not commonly written inside the class which is animal. So dog will have a separate class, cat will have a separate class, then tiger, and then elephant, and so on. So inheritance is basic class, that is base class will have the basic characteristics of all the objects that can be contained within that class. And any other derived classes will have some particular all the characteristics from the base class and some other important and unique characteristics of that particular class. Polymorphism. One interface is used for general class of actions. So you just have to define one interface, and that interface will do multiple actions as and when needed. And you don't need to remember all the things inside. For example, if you have to uh, if you have to draw a shape, so you have to just define the function for the draw shape. The shape can be anything. Shape can be circle, shape can be rectangle, shape can be triangle. So you don't have to remember what is the shape. You just have to declare a particular generic class, and that generic class will define that you have to draw something. But what you have to draw, that will be defined inside that particular polymorphism thing. For example, dog sense of smell is polymorphic. Polymorphic means what? If it is smelling a cat, it will bark and run after it to catch it, catch it. But if it is smelling the food, it will salivate and run to its bowl to eat that. So smell is same. Data to be operated on is different. So smelling a cat, it is running after cat. And uh, smelling a food, it is running after a food to eat that food. Here is a first simple program. Each and every program execution will begin from the main function inside the Java. So in this example also, it is created as public static void main, and it is contained inside the class. Everything will be and must be written inside the class, and that will be written as system.out.println. So this is a simple Java program line will be executed. Then we have to go through the simple control statements that are already uh, declared and defined inside the C programming and C++ programming, but still, if you are directly coming to a Java language, there are two control statements: if statement and for statement. So if is used, if this particular condition is true or particular condition is met, the statement will be executed, else it will not be executed. If number is less than 100, so the system will print number is less than 100. Three operators are used for checking or comparing: less than, greater than, and equal to. Second one is for loop. For is used for looping some block of code multiple times, that is for predefined time. There are three parts in that. You have to initialize the variable, condition for checking the condition for that variable, and iteration. You have to increment or decrement the particular variable after the each and every execution of loop. So here it is declared integer x variable. It is an integer variable. It will be initialized to 0. It is less than 10 and x plus plus. So this is x will be executed 10 times. Block of code. Code is only valid inside the block. So anything that is written inside the opening and closing curly braces will be executed and will be known to only that particular opening and curly braces. Outsider code will never know about that particular variable. If it is only used inside that, it will be known to all. But if it is declared inside that block and used outside that block, so it will not be known. This is not the case for the global variables. The global variables are declared at the start of program, that is the public static void main part or class part. So if it is declared inside the class part, that means it is known to all, but it is only declared if it is declared only inside the opening and curly braces inside the inner blocks of code. So it will not be known to other blocks of code. That will throw an error or it may throw an exception. And last part is some atomic elements of Java, white spaces. You can write, Java is a free-form language. You can write multiple statements one after another in one line or in one by one in a new line, or you can also give a tag. But the condition is to differentiate two statements. You must separate them with the white spaces. Each line of code should be separated by white space. Identifiers. There are some identifiers: class name, method names, and variable names. It can contain descriptive sequence of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, underscore, and dollar sign characters. This is the special characters. Those are only valid. Other special characters are invalid for them, and it must not begin with a number, because else it will be considered as a constant number. And it is highly case sensitive. If the value or variable name is written in full capital, then it is considered as different, and if it is written in small, that variable will be considered as different. Literal. Constant's value is literal. The constant can be any constant: integer constant, float constant, characters constant, string constant, and so on. So here are the examples: 198.6x, and this is a test. These are the simple example of them. And last one is comment. There are three types of comment in Java: single line and multi-line, and documentation comment. For whole documentation part, this comment is used. Separators. Separators are parentheses, braces, brackets, semicolon, comma, and period. So, when are those parentheses used? Parentheses are used to contain list of parameters, method definition, and invocation. If you want to method define a method, or you have to invoke or call that method, you have to use that parenthesis part. It can be also used in operator precedence, expression precedence, and if you are casting one variable to another variable. If you are casting string to integer, integer to float, and so on. In this case, the parentheses are used. Braces. Curly braces are used to contain automatically initialized arrays. Also used to create a block of code for classes, methods, and local scopes. In that cases, braces are used. Brackets. Brackets are used to declare what are the array types. So it is also used when dereferencing array values. Semicolon, it terminates the statement. It is the last separator that will differentiate between the one statement in another and another statement. Then comma. Comma is separating consecutive identifiers in a variable declaration. So if you are creating multiple integer variables in one line, so you can create it like this: integer a is equal to 0, comma b is equal to 0, comma c is equal to 0, and so on. And it is also used to chain statements together inside a for statement. So in for declaration, in initialization, condition, and iteration part, initialization can have multiple initialization at same time. Condition also have multiple conditions that to be satisfied at the same time, and iteration can also have the multiple iterations that are created inside in initialization part at the same time. So besides that semicolon part, you have to if you have to create that multiple variables that will be used that will be created using the comma. Those will be comma separated. The last one is period. Period is used to separate package name from subpackage name and classes. So to identify classes, you will start from package name dot subpackage name dot class name, and that will be identified as the import part in the starting of the Java class. And it is also used to separate variable or method from a reference variable. So these are all parts of separators. The last one is Java keywords. These keywords will arrive in each and every chapter that will be considered as one by one taught inside this Java course. So do you just have to go through it: abstract, constant, finally, integer, public, this keyword, boolean, continue, float, interface, return, and throw. Break, default, for, long, short, throws. By, do, go to, native, static, transient. Case, double, if, new, strict, test, try, catch, else, implements, package, super, and void. Character extends, import, private, switch, volatile, class, final instance of protected, synchronize, while. So these are all the Java keywords that will be used as the keyword. So what are the keywords? Keywords are the words that have some predefined value or some predefined meaning, and those are created for some predefined purpose. So you cannot use them in any at any other place. So this was all inside the overview of Java chapter. In the next chapter, we will go through the data types, variables, and arrays. Okay? Meet you in the next session. Thank you so much.